Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let me take these off. I ain't doing nothing right now. Alright, so hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. Hope everyone got to spend some time with family, enjoy themselves a little bit. We're getting back to the grind here at JD's Custom Mopars. Trying to get after some more stuff. Today's video is going to be just a little bit different. It's just going to be a quick little snippet put together that goes over how I make my little patch panels, and that way I can outline what I do, what technique I use, because it's a DIY figure it out yourself type car build. So as we're getting into this, I'll show you some of the tools I use, some of the equipment that I use going forward, so maybe it can help you. Just remember, no matter what you do when you're building one of these, there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to do it. There's many other channels out there that you can look at, you can follow along with. If you guys want some recommendations, I use a few. But without further ado, I'm going to get into it, and then I will go into how I cut them, what I use to cut them, how I bend in the patch panels, everything like that. And then we'll have all the panels laid out for the floor pan. So before we begin, let me show you where we're at. This is the first one I'm going after right here. I'm going to end up making a little patch panel, but it's going to come in here, make a 90 and get notched in. Got to figure out the thickness. I know I can get the wall thickness right here. We'll find out what thickness this is. I got a couple different gauges of metal. So as I was using the air hammer to knock out the welds, the corner caught. Just be careful when you're doing that. Same goes for this hole. Same goes for this hole. All that is from my air hammer going through, chiseling it out. Now this one's going to be a little bit different. This is a really thick metal, so we'll get the gauge on it. We'll figure out what it is, cut a piece, bend it down in there. I do have a whole nother transmission cross member, as stated. I'm trying to save it for mine because my car is all notched out down here. They cut this out and they cut this out to put a pipe through there. I don't like it. I feel like it makes the car pretty damn weak. That's why I'll have to look at how I'm going to brace up my car before I ever cut this out, because I feel like it's barely holding on. All of this. So there's a channel called Who's Your Garage. Went back, watched some of his older videos, and he actually did the repair where he notched all of this out, did all this after he did the floor pan. And then once the door comes off, Auto Metal Direct makes this panel right here up to about here. It's about 120 bucks. I'm gonna end up buying it, probably one for both sides. And once we get the doors off, after the floors are all grafted in and everything, then I'll hack into here to keep the rigidity of the car intact. Cut this, cut some of this out right here, get some fresh metal coming down in here. You can even do these bends and everything once you get it all grafted. And we'll clean this up because the floor pan only comes to right about here. So the floor pan doesn't go all the way over this. The floor pan only comes so far up on here, and you'll be able to work backwards because you're going to work from the outside this time instead of the inside. Because once you get the door off, you cut out this little brace, you can access all of this on the back side. This is the hollowed outside. That's where I saw that hole. You can actually see the pinhole. You get this camera zoomed in here. See that little, see the daylight? That's that pinhole I saw on the other side. That's where all that rot was. This is my mistake with the grinding wheel. This, how I intend to make the patch panel for this. I don't know if I want to do it one piece, if I want to do it two piece, because it has this natural curve that comes through here. So we'll see how that goes. This is just straight flat plate stock. Just put a new plate over it. Pretty simple. This is just patch and repair. It's just painting because I got to get in here, touch all that up. This is where the seat mount goes for the bucket seats that will be going in here. These holes right here on the A body are for the bench seat. We're no longer using the bench seat. We're going to be using the bucket seat. So I don't want to be bolting something down for a safety to something that I ran a grinder part way through and made it weak. So we're going to backfill all that. We're going to brace it in. I may even just put a little plate on the back underside of here just to help stiffen it up, because I decided to do that. And that brings me to this one. This one's a little bit more, I didn't know this was here. I just went straight to town down the middle. Didn't even think about it. I hit where the hole was and said I'll cut out from the hole. Forgot that they had these mounts under here. Had I went back and reviewed the other channel where the dude's already pulled this apart, Adam already did all this and he showed it, and I went back and rewatched this floor pan video after I hacked this out. Definitely a lot of tips and tricks. I made the mistake of just going after it like I usually do, and decided to do all that. It happens. This rust hole here, it's pitted from here to here. Well, there's a nut welded in right back here. There's a nut welded to the back side of this. So I'm going to cut from here, do this, get this bend in there, bring it down, and I'm going to see if I don't need to incorporate the new nut and just cut down. Use this hole as a reference point to measure off of, come down the middle right here, and then box it out and come back up and just box right there. This kind of flares out right here, so I kind of want to stay on this side of it. I may just take it at an angle and make a little cutout angle that brings it over to here, and then we'll, like I said, we'll bend it up over the top. This channel tutorial, use it as that. Follow along with a father-daughter build. Yes, my daughter's in school. I'm just out of work still, so I'm getting after a car. Follow along with the video if you want to learn a little bit, you just want to see where we're going, or you're just curious about A-bodies, or you got a love for Mopars like I do, or like me, I put these videos on for background noise. I just sit out there and I'll do my homework and I'll have cars building in the background. I'm just a gearhead by trade. Like I love automobiles, I love cars, I love turning wrenches. So whatever you guys fancy, whatever you guys want to do with the channel, please just don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. I'm trying to grow my viewers, trying to grow that base up. Like I said, I'm not a video guy by any means. I'm trying to learn, so I'm trying to grow with you all. So for those of you who have been following the channel for a while, giving feedback to me, I do appreciate it. I appreciate everything you guys do, and we're gonna get after it, so stay tuned. It's gonna be a good video. If you don't have scissors, take the kitchen scissors. It'll work. I'm down to my local Dollar General, whatever you want to call it, and picked up some of this poster boards. I say they're like 20-30 cents a piece. They make some great patch templates. Holds the rigidity a little bit better than paper. Yes, paper will work. I understand that it works for some people. For me, I think it works better that I use cardstock because I tend to rip stuff easily. Okay, so right here, as you can see, all I'm doing is taking my template and I'm going to put it up onto here. And I marked both sides of it. I hope we can see that in the video. I really do. So we marked both sides of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this, put just a little tiny bend on her, get the angle down, put it up in here, make sure my transfer where I want to mark to. Transfer it to the middle, so when I push this up on here, I can make sure it's in the spot, push this down. I know I want to come down probably, so when I weld, I don't want to be grinding in this radius. I want to be able to work outside the radius. Yes, I'm going to have to hit up in 2 spots. So let's say I was doing it right here. I know I'm going to have to grind this spot down. But I would like to hit it with the grinder and clean this all up out here to where I'm not going in here and eating this thin and then having to go back and do a bigger patch. Same goes for up when I'm going up higher. So I'm going up higher so that way I can walk down this side coming in towards this radius, and I can remove the minimum amount from here and there. So remove the minimum amount from each for material. If I want to walk down about, and that's what my patch is, that's ultimately what it's going to look like. So I want to come down about okay. I'm good with that patch, but I'm not going to walk up. I'm going to walk right on the outside of this line for this one. I'm not trying to get rid of the black. I'm trying to keep it I bought a lot of metal. I've been using scraps up to this point just off the other car because this is a budget build. By budget build, I mean I pay for AMD metal when I absolutely have to. I know I can buy this floor pan and make it a lot easier for myself, but I'm not going to. So that's what I got. You can see. Remind myself which way it goes. Up. It's literally all I'm going to make is that patch right here and put it in there. That's it. Just fill that in. Just to replace where I punched a hole through. So once I bend this, I'm going to go through. It's like once I get this first piece bent, all these radiuses are the same. So I'm going to take this material and I'm actually going to make it a little bit fatter. This is what I need for this piece. So I'm going to call this part number 1. And this is number 1. 1 goes to 1. And I'm going to work my way down. I'm going to work on a few more patches. I will bring back up the cams. As I start making these, you'll start seeing numbers show up in the car. That's what that means. So as you see like a 2 and a 3 and all that. The one I will stop at and I will go over is how I intend to do the firewall patch. Okay, so I got this piece of scrap metal. Literally was trying to utilize it for a different patch in the car. Right here. Then I remembered I bought a Harbor Freight metal brake before I deployed. Put it underneath the car. Never used it this past weekend. Opened it up, started playing around and said, hey, rather than, so you can see all the hammer marks, rather than putting it in a vise and trying to beat on it, I wonder what that brake would do. And that's where I got this angle from. And then I looked at it as I walked in the garage with that piece and said, oh look, I still got the scrap piece. So, check this out. See right there? She sits flush on this side. I think the angle is definitely better right here. I think I can get away with putting it right here and then just cutting this right there and then making a big piece, and then I'll notch this off right here, notch this off, and then walk it back. But it appears my scrap metal is going to work. I don't even need to break out the new sheets. So far this car's got no brand new metal put in it. Everything has been a budget build, do it yourself, use other metal. But I do have new metal. I went and found some in town. Here we go. Let's see what she looks like. I'll be able to work with that. Get it to here. Get that cleaned up a little bit. We'll take her right to about there, so I got room to clean it up. Take my Sharpie. Hold my GoPro like this. Now for this roll, you can see I put 2 marks on there. If I put it back in that brake the way it was, she ain't gonna roll, she's gonna 90 it. There's a way to roll it in there. Essentially you have to get it a little bit farther out, but I have another plan for this. This has to go this way, so we're gonna take this over and we are going to old school this one a little bit better. It's about the best I can make it. So with that said, I know what I'm shooting for right here. I'm gonna go this way so I can get my natural light in there. Yeah. Alright, so right here what we're trying to do is get it set up in the vise. Make sure everything is lined up so when I go to knock against it, we can get the bend at the proper angle that we're trying to get it at. You'll see I tried utilizing a hammer in the beginning. Tapped on it a few times right here. Wasn't getting the bend I want, so I ripped it back out. And then what I ended up doing is I ended up putting it in there. I left the vise slightly loose, and I was able to bend it by hand. It's only 18 gauge metal, so it bent really easily. And then I kept taking it to the car, back and forth between here, come back, put it back in the vise, try it again, try it again, try it again, till finally I got the shape that I was looking for. I believe it's a little bit steeper than that. We'll go just a little bit more. I can always push it back just a little bit. I don't want to overwork the metal though. Alright, so at this point what we did is we marked the car. I took the silver Sharpie, wrote down some stuff. As you can see, it's the RWs re-weld, hammer dolly re-weld, patch number 8, patch number 9, all the different patches I need to make, patch 1, and then you can see where the rest of them all come in. Firewall, when you look at that piece right there, it says post, floors, because we plan on going to get after that later. And then as you can see, patch numbers, and F's just for fill, re-weld, patch is already sitting in place. So what I want is, I would love to have all of the patch pieces ready to go before I drag the welder out, do one piece, put it away for the night, make another piece the next day, drag it back out, tack that one in. It's just a waste of time. I'd rather have all my pieces, break the welder out once, get everything all mocked up, and then just start burning stuff in and then clean it all up at once. That's why I haven't gone back and cleaned up some of this stuff. That's why I haven't cleaned up some of these other holes. I haven't gone in here yet. The welder's been put up. Ain't drug it out yet. It'll be coming out though by the end of this week. So if I can get all this done, I'll be ready to tech screw in that floor pan for now. And then yeah, well, then we can finish up the floor pan video itself. This is a sub video of the floor pan video. Got a little excited with the Sharpie. Then I saw my daughter come out and let her draw on the car. I'm gonna leave that underneath the floor pan. So if I ever pull it back out, guess what? It's always there. Thanks for watching.